Hello, Stoney fam. Welcome back to another episode. I hope everybody had a lovely 7:10 yesterday. I mean, when this comes probably popping up on you guys' feed, it won't be exactly right after 7:10, but I'm recording this the day after. I had a really good time. I hope you all did too and got really lit, however you choose to. I decided to smoke quite a lot of flower and consumed a pretty good amount of dabs for me, anyway. I don't really smoke dabs that often. But when I do, I get really lit, and I have got pretty baby lungs, I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to the dabs. Like, you'll see me take pretty decent-sized bong rips, but when it comes to dabs, I can't really do that. But, I will say, speaking of the topic, I absolutely love my new banger that I got from, shout out to Pal Quartz. They're a really amazing company, super friendly people, and just the products that they make is super high quality, really cool and interesting to look at too, especially when you're stoned. Like, who doesn't like looking at really pretty glass when they're stoned? But getting that banger has made me want to consume more dabs and enjoy doing it when I do eventually dab, because I didn't like it that much before. Just really wasn't a big fan of it for a while until like I got into getting different pieces. I really like my little rigs. I'm more of a fan of the mini rigs than I am of like really big ones. I think it's just a weird coincidence. Like, I love really big bongs when it comes to flower, but if it's a dab, I want like a really tiny rig or like an e-rig. It's very strange of me, but that's how I am, I guess. Kind of like Goldilocks with the porridge. Like, this is too hot. This is too cold. This is just right. Like, type shit. I don't know. It's just giving me vibes like that. But I also really want to talk about my first experience with dabbing. I don't think I've talked about that before, and it's kind of a funny story, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the first time I ever did dab is a pretty interesting story. So, if you guys got anything to pack up, you gotta roll up, whatever you need to do, get ready, get stoned, let's get high together. We're gonna be talking about some pretty funny shit. So, I'm gonna toke this up, and then we're gonna start talking about some dabs. So, cheers, guys. Alright, so the first time that I ever actually did take a dab was out of my brother's rig, whom I don't really have a good relationship, or not really even a bad one, but I don't have a close relationship with my brother. So this was like one of the first times that we were getting to spend any time together in many years, and it happened to be the day of my mom's wedding. My mom was getting married to who now is my stepfather. And it was not going to be a fun time for me. So I was like, I want to be stoned as fuck. And I smoked quite a bit of flower at that time. I wasn't like, definitely compared to my knowledge or smoking lilies now, definitely different. But I was into cannabis. So like, I thought that I'd had a handle on my shit. And I didn't really understand the gravity of the difference of concentrates versus flower. So we're behind a fucking giant red dumpster, literally being a freaking weirdo with a giant, so a red dumpster with a red giant torch. So it was like before, like, we got like the hand torches and stuff. Like, I didn't even know hand torches existed. I thought everybody carried around a fucking giant blowtorch type thing. It was enormous. And we're sitting there. My mom like had picked out with me. We'd gotten like those, bridal gowns. So I got a big bridal dress on, really long, and my makeup's all done, my hair's all done. I'm all ready, and I'm just smoking time. The wedding's in like an hour, I think, maybe something like that. It was like, there was a little bit of time left, and I was already done getting ready, but it wasn't that much time. So, like, we had to be at the wedding soon. And my brother. So, the only difference is I was in the ceremony, so I had to be in the church with her and, like, helping light candles and stuff. So, like, I guess I forgot about that. I didn't know, I think, at the time. I can't remember. It was so long ago, but I do know that I eventually did have to do that. So, mind you guys, I'm behind a dumpster, giant blowtorch. Me and my brother, whom we barely really be talking, but I'm trying to, like, bond with him, and, like, it felt like a nice bonding moment because we both liked cannabis. And I'm taking a dab, and I don't even know how much longer after the dab, but I was gone. I was so stoned. I felt like I'd never been that high before, like, at all. Like, I felt like I could barely lift my head at points. I was just like super stoned. And then, like, I was all in my feelings at one point too. Like, I thought that I started to get anxious too about, like, everybody getting, like, knowing that I was high. So, like, I thought it was a good idea to start crying and saying that my mom looked beautiful, like, just to try to hide that I was high. That didn't work. and like I said, I had to be in the ceremony. So I'm there now after getting high, and I'm very stoned. So is my brother, except, he knows how to handle his stuff. He's laughing at me, and I'm really high. And we go to the wedding, and, the priest is giving me the most dirtiest looks. Everybody there was looking at me like funny, and it wasn't in my head, I swear. Everybody's looking at me funny. There's a picture, actually. There's many pictures of me that look really high from this, because I ruined the wedding photos with my face, if I was in any of them. But one in particular I'm thinking of is in one of my reels. I gotten a photo of me walking down the aisle on my way to, stand where I was supposed to be positioned for, the wedding. And I look so freaking high. My mouth is like, I'm smiling all giddily, like you can tell I'm stoned. And there's a woman behind me just giving me, like, the dirtiest freaking look. And she looks like the chick, I swear, from Monsters, Inc. The lady that's, like, at the end of it turns out to be, like, number one or whatever the fuck. That lady that's like, you didn't do your paperwork. Yeah, like that lady. Mike Wazowski. That fucking chick. Like, that's exactly what she looked like. I don't know if she's mean or not, but she was giving me a dirty look, so I can call her Mike Wazowski. I don't care. Or whatever the fuck I was saying. Anyway, so that happened. The rest of the night, I remember, like, coming home, and honestly, I don't even remember, like, there's a lot of pieces that I just don't remember, but I do remember just being really, really high and coming back at the end of the night, and we decided to do the same thing again, smoke again, and, like, this time I'm, like, burnt out high. I'm not really as high as I was, stoned. I mean, I like to say stoned more than high, but, like, sometimes I'll say both. I feel like high sometimes can get, like, I don't know, misconstrued the wrong way, but y'all know I was toking on the plant. Anyway, so we ended up smoking in the living room, and then I passed out sitting up on the couch. So it's the only time I remember ever passing out sitting up on the couch before. So that was a really funny time. And the second time I ever dabbed was the next day, and that was my prom. So I decided to not only fuck up at the wedding, thinking that was a good idea, but to think that was a good idea to do at my prom too. So yeah, anybody that went to school with me, if you're ever listening to this, or any of my old teachers, yeah, I was high. I didn't drink. Excuse me, I didn't drink that night, but they thought I had, because they breathalyzed me at the at one of the office rooms, but I think it was like the principal's lounge. I don't even fucking remember. Teacher's lounge, I mean, or like in the principal's office. They'd brought me in thinking that I was drunk because I had, like, tripped walking down the aisle, or hall. I mean, I said aisle because I'm talking about the wedding before this. But I was really high, and I tripped. I'm wearing my heels. I don't normally wear heels, and I'm in a dress, and I'm a little bit anxious. This is prom. I've never been to prom, so it's like everybody's walking down the end of the hallway to all get onto, I think we're all, like, oh yeah, we're getting ready to do, like, do the walk, I think. We're about to do, like, the walk of the gymnasium, so I hadn't even really gotten to prom yet to do anything. We didn't have the dance stuff yet. And I think when we did go to prom, we all got on a bus and we went to the venue. It wasn't actually at my school, but we did have, like, the photos at my school, like when we did the walk with her, whoever the fuck you went to prom with. I really don't remember the actual terminology for this shit. It was a long time ago, one. And two, I didn't really care for it. I was never really, like, kissing never. Like, as a younger kid, I did care for prom. Like, oh, that'd be fun. And then, like, as I got older and was actually in school, like, I did not care for that. I did not care for being stuck in the dances with my peers. I already had to do that in, like, middle school dances and other shit like that. It was not going to be fun. Because I'm in a very small area, small school, so I grew up with a lot of the same people. So I was like, I'm not for that. I'm good. I'd rather go get stoney by myself. But anyway, getting off topic, back to what I was talking about. So I was thinking, this won't be too bad. I got high the day before. I'll be probably fine today. Just do a little bit less, whatever. Or don't smoke as much, because I had smoked some flower before I had taken a dab. So I thought, oh, just smoke less. No, still the same pretty much effect. The next day, I was very, very stoned. Like I said, I got breathalyzed, passed it because I didn't drink. So, like, I made them kind of feel a little silly. And then I went, proceeded my shit. Like I said, went down the aisle, did my walk eventually, because I think they had made everybody wait because of that. I don't even know. But did the walk. We ended up going to the venue, whatever. It was, how a prom, I guess, would be or should be. I had a decent experience. I went with one of my really good friends. At the time, it was, like, my boyfriend, but we ended up being really good friends after breaking up, and just in general, we were really good friends beforehand. So we had a good time. I mostly just, hung out like we were friends. Like, it was just a really good time, but I secretly was very, very baked. And I I'm not sure how many other people there were as well, but I definitely was, and I was one of the only people in my class that had to get breathalyzed, so that was fucking embarrassing, but funny when it turned out that they were wrong, because I was like, haha, now what are you gonna do? There's no breathalyzer for weed. So, I got away with that. I thought that was really funny. I might have already talked about that story, briefly, or even indulged on it better in my last episode when I was talking about the things I got in trouble for when it came to cannabis, but I don't know if I fully went in depth or talked about it the same, so who cares if I'm resharing. Anyway, it was a funny story. Kind of sucked though. I didn't really like how I felt. I will say, it did kind of make me feel bad because I was embarrassed, and on top of, it felt like I was being picked on. There's a lot of other people here that probably were more likely to be doing worse, so why pick me out of everybody else is how I felt, but it is what it is. It was well over 10 years ago, so I'm good now. I also stupidly just realized my phone was on vibrate, so it definitely had some boop boops back there and making some noises, so I apologize to you guys for that annoying sound. Usually I have that off, but I'd forgotten to turn it off. Before I end this, I do want to say really quick, I found out about 710 about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I feel like I'm still finding people that haven't ever heard of it. It's not really as big of a thing as talked about as 420. I also will say I was always confused why 2 separate. 420 kind of means anything of cannabis. I don't think it necessarily matters if we have 710 or not. I think it's cool though. I like it. I'm just saying, for the people that, didn't know it existed, don't feel bad. I didn't know it existed either at some point. There's a lot of things that are revolving around cannabis that you're going to find that you're learning about, or you're going to learn in the past, and you're going to be, looking back and be oh, why the hell didn't I know that, or whatever the case may be. It's, because you're learning. It's a huge process when it comes to cannabis, and you have to, either be taught it or teach it to yourself, and, there's always new information coming out, too, when it comes to cannabis, and new regulations. I mean, there's always new states, too, that are legalizing it. Maryland just legalized recreational, I believe. So it's getting to be a lot more, it's a lot more less taboo. It's a lot more of a household topic now. It can be spoken about without, cringed faces and people freaking the fuck out. Oh, you're talking about weed, the devil's lettuce. The gateway drug, all those commercials that were against pot, that doesn't exist anymore. I'm even seeing more commercials, on my phone, when I'm on YouTube. I'll see commercials about weed, edibles and stuff, or CBD stuff. So I'm oh, that's really cool that I'm seeing this stuff now, because it never was something I would fathom to ever think of in the past. And I've been posting about cannabis for 10 years now, so I've been around for a lot of changes throughout those years, and I'm going to be around for a lot more, because I'm sure there will be a lot more different changes, because there's always, like I said, always new stuff going on. But it's really interesting looking back at what it was like, before it was legalized in a lot more places than it is now, a lot less strict, and furthermore too, we gotta make it a priority to get those people who are in prison for cannabis, we gotta get them the fuck out. We gotta get this, this society on track with seeing as a whole why that should not be happening. And I really do appreciate what the Last Prisoners Project is doing, and what other organizations are doing to help with that, because it's a problem that needs to be helped with. So anyway, I'm not going to keep talking and rambling, because I feel like I could keep doing that for a while right now. This strain in particular kind of makes me feel very talkative, but also very chill. I could just kind of melt into the couch if I wanted to. It's very nice. I really enjoy this strain by High Supply. Anyway, hope you guys all have a really good evening, great day, whatever time it is you may be listening to this. And again, I hope you had a really good 7/10. And I'll be looking forward to next episode with you guys. I have a lot more to be sharing, like I said in the last episode. And yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Cheers.